Week 4 of Around My Toy Room in Week 4 of Around the Toy Room in 7 days. What do I got? Let's find out.
Hey kid, yeah, you. Everyone thinks toys are fun, but this is a channel for adults. Yeah, I said it. If you're under the age of 18, go get your parents before you come in here. If you're under the age of 13, scram! Let's get on with the show.
Hey folks, welcome to another edition of Around My Toy Room in 7 days. This is week 4, so this will mark, I guess, 1 month of this series, 1 month of really tackling depackaging toys and getting them on the shelves. And if you've been under a rock or haven't been watching the series up to this point, or on Patreon, you would not know that I got a new camera last week. And so, as a result, you can see almost the entire toy shelving experience. Like the whole top shelf is out of your view, and then the outer edges of these two shelves are a bit lost. So I'm sorry about that. I did the best that I could, but this is a much better camera, and it'll look much better. Close-ups will be better. Trust me. As the show continues to evolve, I've been pre-choosing the toys that will be depackaged throughout the course of the episode, which is not crazy to think about. In the past, it was like grab a couple toys, unbox it. Grab a couple toys, unbox it. But at this point, I like having a roadmap of where things are going, so that I can film anytime I want for as long as I need to, because this is becoming kind of a cornerstone, series for us here, because I'm not really doing toy reviews at this point. And the why I got this series is, on the back burner, because I need to focus on getting these shelves done. So, you get a little bit of all that kind of toy analysis, and you get the unboxing vibe here. So, I hope you don't hold it against me that I pre-select these toys for depackaging. But whether or not you do, I'm doing it anyway, so just want to keep you informed. Without spoiling anything, I will say this much. This first segment is only about Indiana Jones, and as you can see, there are plenty of those toys back there. I'm not unboxing everything. I just want to get a start. So with that in mind, here's what I got. I have Raiders of the Lost Ark Indiana Jones from the Adventure series, and I have Major Tote. These are my two favorite characters from the original movie, and they're the ones I'm most excited to open, so let's do that. As a reminder to those who watch the series, or for the uninitiated, I depackage everything, then talk about the toys. You don't have to watch any sped up footage of me depackaging or anything else. We're just going to get straight to it. So, without further ado, here's Indiana Jones. Let's get the obvious out of the way right up front. This packaging is absolutely wasteful, stupid, crappy, and literal garbage. It's all digital renders with some cool artwork that is totally just minimized, and I hate it. Thanks. I hate it. The inside's got all the cardboard and the bags you expect from like classified series and Marvel Legends to have no plastic bubble. This is horrible packaging. There's no reason to keep it. I'm tossing both of them because they suck. Now that said, I expected as much from this packaging. This is nothing new for the windowless packaging that Hasbro's been putting out. And I've heard some pretty bad horror stories about these figures in general, which has made me hesitant to open them. I am a very big Indiana Jones fan, have been since my first recollection of seeing the film, being in a drive-in in 1980-81, somewhere in there. It was a double feature with Empire Strikes Back. Now, I don't know if I saw it when they came out or like a year or two later or what. But I know I went to a drive and I saw them both at the same time. I don't know. And then I didn't see Raiders again until like whatever year it premiered on ABC Movie Network, the ABC Network's movie night. I want to say it is 85, perhaps 86, probably 85. But that is neither here nor there. Being a fan, I was ready for these toys, but I was also ready for them to have some problems. Let's talk about Indy first. First and foremost, and this is going to be a very weird thing to say out the gate, he stands really well in the pose that I chose for him. Okay? And his face sculpt looks appropriately annoyed, but the paint deco makes him look like an extra for The Walking Dead. It's kind of weird. I can see what they were going for. I think the sculpt is one of the better I've seen of Harrison Ford, at least on this particular instance, but the paint just ruins it. Just looks like they just slap shit on his face. From a distance, it'll do the job, but this is not going to win any detail awards. It just isn't. The jacket is molded separate from the sleeves, so it's a bit movable. And kudos design-wise on this stuff, but they did not follow through. So you've got this little guy here that is supposed to hold this coiled whip in place. Now, I love that idea. I think it's a great one. But they didn't follow through in the engineering to make it a usable feature. The peg hole for this is not the same size as the peg, and it's just a waste. I'll have to use some magician's wax to get that to function, if I can even get it to function. That's okay, though. I want to pose him with the whip, which it is also coiled. So I have to use some heat on this, maybe get some wire or something to get this in the direction I want, but it's flexible enough that I have the option. Also in the great idea but engineering fail category, we have this pistol holster, which came closed, indicating that it is supposed to function properly. But at this juncture, I cannot quite get this thing to close the way it's supposed to, which is fine, in the sense that, I took 3 seconds to do it. Okay, whatever, I'll probably eventually get it closed, but then what's the point? So, great idea, poorly executed for sure. Overall, it looks good. This is for a basic action figure. I think there's not a ton wrong, but there's enough wrong to make note of it. And considering that as of this recording, you could probably find these figures at most of your retail outlets for clearance, like I'm talking $6, $7 a figure. If you can look past some of these basic flaws, they're worth $7, that's for sure. He comes with the idol from the opening of Raiders of the Lost Ark, along with the pistol and the whips, as I mentioned, as well as build and artifact arc pieces. In his case, he gets the little eagle heads that go on top of the arc. And I think that's a cool thing that we get an arc in the whole thing, but just as with any build to anything, it's tied in figures that don't make sense. It's pretty dumb. He also comes with a pretty impressive array of hands in terms of just sheer number. He's got 2 punching fists, and he's got 2 gripping hands. He's got a trigger hand for the gun. For his right hand, his left hand also has a gripping hand that may work for the whip. So if you want to display with both, you can. And as I mentioned, left and right fists. Not bad. For what you pay, that's not bad. Even for the retail price. Should have been, could have been better, especially in the paint deco and the engineering I talked about, but as someone who grew up really pining after Indiana Jones toys in general, and when you compare them to the absolute shitstorm that these retro figures from Indy are, I think I will take it. Because the Adventure series, although very problematic, is a far cry from the bullshit they pulled with the retro collection. So, I'm not going to give it a star rating, we don't do that here, but I am more pleased than displeased with this, even though I see a lot of room for improvement. On to Tote. Now, his cloak is just a rubber piece that you can clip on or off. I'm pretty pissed off about that. I would like for him to be able to wear the damn thing. What if I'm going to wear the coat like in Nepal? Maybe I want that. That said, the form that it's in, it does fit on him nicely. It does the job. I like that I can take it off, because if it was like this and I couldn't take it off, I'd be mad. But Tote is is a great character. And I was once in a metal band by the name of Sala, and we all took stage names from different characters in the Indiana Jones lore. And I was Tote the Second, because we had a Tote in the band before I came along. So this is special to me. His hat came off in transit, and I was very concerned it wouldn't fit right. But, dude, it fits really well. Like, it actually does the job. Like, it actually does what it's supposed to do. And just like with his, his weapon also does the trick. There's not a ton here to, on display for Tote to do. He does have, of course, the, I'm not sure I can get it close enough to really focus in on this. But he does have hey, I held the medallion, the headpiece of Staff of Ra, and burnt my hand, which is great. I love that. He also has the ark's open and I'm dying now face, which is very cool. I'm hard pressed to decide how I want to display these. Once they're all unboxed, I'll make that decision. But it's cool. He came with 2 side pieces to the arc, which I clipped together just so I have it ready to go. And then here are the birds that go on top. Good sculpt on these. I think overall, these are cool display figures. There's better stuff out there. These should have been handled with way more care than they were. And these are just the first 2. I have a bunch more to go through, but these are the only 2 this week. My biggest takeaway here, though, aside from they're more good than bad for my needs, okay, they stand really well so far. In the stances I want them to stand in. And I know that's such a lame thing to be excited about, but considering Hasbro's track record and other toy companies' track record with characters not being able to stand right, that's a huge plus. I mean, I wish it wasn't, but here we are. They stand. That's awesome. Something, because for all the things I'm worried about on these figures, if I couldn't even stand them up, I'd be pretty pissed off. On to the next. For segment 2 here, I'm gonna be upfront with you. I have these pile of toys over here that I'm gonna depackage for the week, and I was having a bad day. I didn't feel like filming, but I depackaged 5 toys. Now, in the case of the 2 Transformers that I've unboxed, you know as well as I do that those packages are pretty lackluster. And you know Motu card backs by now. So we have Cobra Khan, Boltman, and Ratlore. Okay? So Cobra Khan first. On his card back, we've got... I'm not sure if that's Extendar on the back or that robot figure. I don't remember which. But that plus Thunder Punch He-Man, which is pretty cool. On Boltman's, we have Boltman and Cobra Khan. See if I can get the focus. Doesn't want to focus for him. Sorry about that. And Ratlore just shows him with Snake Armor He-Man from what I can see. Nothing crazy. But they're nice card backs. They are what they are. So let's go with Cobra Khan first. I've already got posing on a stand. I had this figure as a child back when he spit water. And I don't really miss that feature. I like that I have more posability with the character as a result. He looks the part. He's a good-looking snake boy. Good-looking snake boy. What can I say, right? Boltman, who I'm really still feel bad that I forgot his name last week. Looking very good, and clearly his sculpt is what they based Hypno on. His bolts are a little hard to get in his hands, but they fit perfectly in this little scabbard here. Looks very cool. Big fan of the Sunman stuff, as you guys know. Then Ratlore, which actually rattles, which is cool. At first I thought it was broken. I forgot that this was a thing. This rubber tail you have to attach on. It does bend, but you kind of gotta really push it along to get it to go where you want it to go. Might have to put some heat on it and bend it a bit more. The neck extension, you don't have to use it, but I just think it's so cool. It's a nice way of setting him apart from his contemporaries. The paint deco on him is absolutely beautiful. There we go. Look at that guy. Beautiful. Beautiful. Good looking snake boyo. Now, I did 2 Transformers. They're smaller Transformers. I will start with the War for Cybertron RC. I got this version because of her relative size. So she's a little bit smaller. And also, I don't have a huge affinity one way or the other to the different versions of her that are available. So when she came on sale in this version, I said, well, let's go that direction. I will say that trying to stand her with this massive crap on her back is a challenge, but I welcome it. And frankly, for what I paid, maybe $7, $8, it was worth it. And then, of course, I have my favorite Insecticon, Kickback. I also had him as a child, the original version, and I just loved that character. I loved the way they talked. All the Insecticons had just like the coolest voices. I'm not sure what I think about these sword/effects that he carries. The gun is pretty awesome, and again, he looks very cool, very in line with what he did as you know, when I was a kid. Great Transformer, great figure. And I am committed now to getting all 3 of the Insecticons, because once you have one, you kind of can't stop, right? So, that is 5 more toys and 2 separate lines. So technically, we're done for this week. But no, ma'am, no, sir. We have more. No, I don't. By the way, sorry about the bit of the volume difference between the 2 clips. I'm not sure what happened with the mic. Or rather, I know what happened. I don't know how it happened. So, sorry about that. I'll take greater care in the future. But as far as me not having more toys to open this week, you know, after really looking at the toys that I had depackaged, I said, no, that's exactly what the series is supposed to be. Don't push yourself past that just to overachieve. When I was looking at the other toys I have to unbox, I was like, all I gotta do is add 2 or 3 from another line. Now I got a really robust episode for the week 5. The reason I made this decision is very simple. I am behind on these about a week. You're probably seeing this on the day that I recorded it, because I've been falling behind because work and other life things have gotten in the way. So the idea for me, it was very simple. I've got a full episode. It's great. I'm going to go ahead and just put that out because you get plenty of toys, you get plenty to talk about. And I'm also going to be showing you the close-ups here in a moment on the shelf. They're already back there. And, you know, I think that I was dangerously getting close to a bad place. The point of this on my end, aside from just making content and forcing me to open toys, is to make sure that I'm having fun with them as this process goes on. And if I'm opening 12, 15, 20 toys at a clip, it's no different than the phenomena that I experience when I unbox. You know, you get a shipment, you get like 12 toys or whatever. And it's awesome to have them. You're like, yay! And then you put them on the shelf or in storage and you don't think about them. So in the interest of keeping the spirit of this what it's supposed to be, I'm stopping there. I already have toys pre-picked for next week. They're going to be a lot of fun, and I'm going to record them earlier so I can put these out earlier. So, thank you for your patience. Thank you for understanding, and thank you for encouraging me to enjoy my toys. I had to really take a step back and be like, wait a minute, do I have to do this? And the answer was no. So I'm not gonna. So without further ado, here's your close-ups. That's week 4 of Around My Toy Room in 7 days. I really enjoy making this series, and I hope you enjoy watching it. Keep giving the feedback. If there's something you want done a little bit different, certainly let me know. But I think this is working pretty well. But obviously, we got a new camera because of some feedback, so you never know what's going to spark my imagination or actually get implemented into the show. So I really appreciate you. I hope we'll see you for the next one. In the meantime, may all your card backs be straight, may all your grinds be merry, and may you be able to find anything you're looking for at any given time at a price you feel is reasonable, especially when it's for free right off your own shelf. Take care, guys. We'll see you soon. Cheers. Special thanks to our patrons and members who you're seeing on the screen now. Thank you so much for your support. It really helps.